So I have been working on my YouTube addiction. I'm just going to call it that because I really like it. I really struggle with not watching YouTube videos a lot. I really enjoy, just kind of settling down, kicking back with YouTube. Just every reason that you probably watch it as well. It's relaxing, it's informative, it's keeping me up to date. It's making me a better person. All of those things, I love it. It's like keeping me in the news. Now, I can't think of a better place than YouTube for all of this stuff because I love video format. Now, I'm sure like you can get by with 4chan and Reddit and get all that, and probably Facebook if people still use that. But it's like, do people still use Facebook? I really don't know. Very interesting. I figured they do because there's Facebook advertisement as like one of the most important ones. Interesting. Very weird. So, anyways, I've been thinking a lot about just how I kind of have a hard time with it. I have my newsfeed eradicator, which handles YouTube, and then I have like this other like unhook, I think it's called for YouTube, to keep me from using all of the features. It cleans it up. It just makes it super minimalist. So I have all of that, and all of that's great, but I still will shut off things, do this and do that, and use it. So I kind of figured, kind of like one of those things, like when I quit smoking, I chewed on like cinnamon sticks or went for a walk or whatever, right? It was like a replacement thing. So I was like, well, what can possibly replace YouTube? And then I remembered, and because I'm an idiot, I just have been paying for Skillshare, which I haven't really used. Like honestly, it's like been a year. I did like a annual thing, and I think I did it twice because I needed, when it re-signed up, doesn't matter, but I have it and I don't use it, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? It's such a great thing. There's the mini courses, so it's really good. And since I'm creating courses, I remembered it and I was like, oh, I wonder if they have, well, one, courses on course creation. Two, I want to see how all my favorite people's courses are organized. What do they include? What kind of B-roll is it? Do they have two cameras? Whatever. So I wanted to investigate and research that. And I was just like getting hooked, and I'm like, this is so much better than YouTube. Obviously no ads because it's paid service. And then I'm like, I get to have it on in the background and so on. And for me, having a clean, really deliberate choice that's like not just like, you go on YouTube and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to be deliberate with YouTube. And then you're like, I'm just going to watch minimalist videos, right? And you go and you pick one, and then you pick another. And then all of a sudden you see something somewhere, and now you're researching drones. And you're like, what? Well, with the Skillshare thing, for me, it's like you pick one, and it's a whole bunch of videos. It's an hour generally. I think most of the courses are about a little over an hour. So then you have this whole set that you want to complete. And for me, I'm completionist. I want to complete it. So even if I just have it on the background, as long as I finish it and kind of get all the little bit nuggets, if it's not super dense. But yeah, I've really found that, wow, Skillshare or any kind of structural like online learning thing that has meant more than one. I think masterclass is another one, right? I think those are a really good replacement for YouTube. At least my time, if I'm gonna be a couch potato, it's gonna be a structured thing that I would know about this one thing. And it doesn't seem like many of the courses on Skillshare, at least they don't have you like, it's not like when you buy a course where there's a lot of like, okay, do this. Okay, good. Now you've done that. Now we'll go to this step. There isn't too much of that unless you're going super software. There's a lot of head stuff like entrepreneurial thing, business, just even thinking, photography. There's a lot of stuff that's passive in a sense. You just learn it. You just take it in. without doing things and then moving on. That's what it seems to me. So I just wanted to kind of be like, hey, if you have one of these services and you do struggle with YouTube, maybe that's a really good option for you, because I'm telling you, it's been like a few days and I'm like, what? This is it. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't know if I would recommend signing up for one unless you think you're going to use it for real. Maybe like a 30-day trial. I think they do trials. So maybe a trial would be a good idea. And then also make sure that you set it up on like a card that you don't forget that it does an annual thing or whatever. So, because that's kind of what happened with mine. Not like they wouldn't have fixed it, but whatever. I digress. That's it for today. Till next time. Cheers.